And 6:32 and new this morning. All this week, we're digging deeper into Illinois' medical marijuana pilot program. The program, which started in January of 2014, is off to a slow start. But public health officials say now is the time for patients to apply. New this morning, WGEM's Jeremy Culver is here with details. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie. Well, I went to Springfield to talk with state health officials about the process to get medical marijuana in the hands of patients. Now, first, patients need to fill out an application to get a medical marijuana card, and they'll need their doctor to sign a form showing they have an eligible condition. Illinois health officials say they were able to iron out the approval process after looking at dozens of other states with similar programs.
We've looked at a number of the other states to see how they have implemented their programs. So Illinois has really benefited from those states who were early adopters. And it's allowed us to avoid some of the pitfalls that they may have had to deal with.
Now, on this story at WGEM.com, you'll find the state's top 10 list for completing the registry application. Now, even with avoiding the pitfalls of other states, Illinois medical marijuana programs have faced many delays. Still, no dispensaries or cultivation centers have been built in the state. Tune in tomorrow as we explore the reasons for the delays and why one lawmaker says the program could fall apart if the delays aren't addressed. Jeremy Culver, WGEM News.
Now to our continuing coverage all this week on Illinois' medical marijuana program. Today, we look at the delays that have plagued the program, which started in January of 2014. Still, no patients can use the program. WGEM's Jeremy Culver joins us with more. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie. Well, I spoke with State Representative Lou Lang, the writer of Illinois' medical marijuana bill, and Lang says the delays could kill the program. Lang says the state was slow to draft rules for applications of patients, cultivators, and dispensary owners. Lang fears by the time the program is finally available to patients, there will only be 2 years left. Now, keep in mind, we're nearly a year and a half into what's supposed to be a 4-year pilot program. And Lang says the delays could drive up costs for patients.
Because the entrepreneurs who have put hundreds of thousands of dollars in building these buildings and growing marijuana and hiring experts and making these applications, just like any other business, people will want to make their money back. It will force prices up.
Lang is also concerned that high prices could force residents to get their marijuana illegally, causing more problems than solutions.
All right, Jeremy, there's certainly concerns with this program locally as well.
Yes, and some of those are businesses and some of those are actually officers with those concerns. So if you join us tomorrow, we're going to actually explore what those concerns are, what were their issues, and actually where they stand on the issues today.
All right, that's coming up tomorrow. Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you.
Now into our continuing coverage all this week on Illinois' medical marijuana program, where licenses have been approved for cultivation centers and dispensaries across the state, with one dispensary and cultivation center coming to the tri-states. But it has not been without concern. WGEM's Jeremy Culver joins us with much more on this. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Dylan. Well, actually, the biggest concern has been where these dispensaries are going to be located here for the medical marijuana program. Now, for example, the dispensary Herbal Remedies LLC faced opposition for its location in Quincy. State regulations forced the business away from the downtown area, and the owner now plans to open near 48th and Broadway. Now, the city council approved a zoning change for the dispensary, but area businesses like County Market disagreed with the council.
Traffic is always a concern for us. Every one of our parking lots has a layout that has a purpose, and anytime there's a major change to that, we're very concerned. I asked for some additional time to study that, was not granted that, but we did request that.
Mike Maher, president of State Street Bank, also voiced concerns over the traffic with a bank branch at the 48th and Broadway intersection, and Maher says it's already a high traffic spot, which could cause problems for customers going in and out.
And Jeremy, we talked about this a little bit. I mean, it's not that these local businesses are necessarily against the medical marijuana program. They're just more concerned about what you talked about, parking and location especially, right?
Yes, and right now, in addition to the traffic concerns, there are some concerns for safety of customers and workers coming in and out of the area. But Neiman says the council has spoken, so he will abide by their decision. And remember, for viewers, check back tomorrow. We're going to continue going into this coverage and actually look at the big picture of the state.
Yeah, great stuff, Jeremy. Thanks.
Thank you.
All this week, we're digging deeper into Illinois' medical marijuana program. So far, we've looked at the approval process for patients and opposition to the program.
Yes, that's right. And now we're going to go in depth with why this program has continued to stall. WGEM's Jeremy Culver joins us now to talk about his report, your report, coming up tonight on WGEM News at 10.
Yes, Natalie and Dylan, we've seen these patients have been waiting since the medical marijuana program went into effect in 2014, but they continue to wait. And in another 2.5 years, the pilot program is set to expire. And that has patients and some lawmakers wondering if the program will ever serve the amount of patients originally expected. That's the focus of my in-depth report that airs on WGEM News at 10.
I want my community to open up to the idea that this is a real thing, this helps people, and if we can help people in our community have a better quality of life, why would we want to not offer that to them?
So why have there been delays? What is still holding the program up? Well, we're going to answer those questions and more in my in-depth piece that airs tonight on WGEM News at 10.
And Jeremy, I had a sneak peek at your story coming up tonight, and it really brings both sides to the table and lays things out.
Yes, and you're going to hear from patients, you're going to hear from state health departments, you're also going to hear from a doctor and a lawmaker who's trying to extend the program out. So everyone, I encourage to listen in and find out a little bit of the details if you don't know about the program or still wanting some answers.
Yeah, such a hot topic, and it's tough. It seems like it's hard to get your arms around it, but from what I've seen, your piece is going to bring some clarity to that. So again, we encourage everyone to watch, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
This is Quincy resident Andy Schnock in his prime as a competitive swimmer. Today, Schnock suffers from dystonia, a neurological condition that gives him immense pain. He first noticed a problem when swimming in college.
I was doing the 1,000 freestyle. It's about a 10-minute race. About 2 minutes into the race, my arm was just killing me.
Doctors diagnosed Schnock with thoracic outlet syndrome, causing his arm to have no circulation or pulse when placed upright.
I've had 5 surgeries now to date. They've had me on tons of different prescription medicine.
Schnock turned to medical marijuana for the pain when he worked in California and in Colorado, 2 states where medical marijuana is legal. Schnock opted against smoking and chose to use a vaporizer, and he says the pain was noticeably different.
It feels like I have a little guy in my arm who's just sitting there hammering at me. And after 2 or 3 puffs off the vaporizer, that little guy would go on break.
After working at a dispensary in Colorado, Schnock wants to help patients in Illinois. He's the manager of the dispensary Herbal Remedies, LLC, planned to be built in Quincy. Connie Moody with the Illinois Department of Public Health says to get a medical marijuana card, patients must have their doctor's support and fill out an application.
The law provides us with 30 days to approve or deny a medical cannabis registry application once we receive a complete application.
The health department says more than 18,000 people have looked into getting cards, but only 1,600 applications have been approved and still no dispensaries have opened. State Representative Lou Lang, who wrote Illinois' medical marijuana bill, says the delays in application and dispensary approvals forced at least one family to live in different states to find relief.
If this program is allowed to die, if this program isn't allowed to work properly, these families will have to remain separated, and that's just appalling and it's wrong.
Many of those families rallied in Springfield this legislative session to raise awareness of the delays. Adding to the delays, Dr. Raymond Smith with Blessing Cancer Center says many doctors have expressed concerns about implementing the program to their patients.
I think it's more complicated when you look at some of the diseases that are on the list that are not immediately terminal and can go on for years and decades.
The current pilot program is set to expire in 2018, 4 years after the law went into effect. But with all the delays and not a single dispensary open in the state, Lang introduced House Bill 3299. The bill would extend the pilot program to 4 years after the first dispensary opens. Lang would eventually like to see the program become permanent. Schnock hopes to see this program come to life soon. He still battles pain, but he says others are even more desperate.
It was easily the worst experience of my life, but some of these people out there, they're terminal, and they're at the end of the road, and they don't have anything else to turn to.
When the law passed, dispensaries and cultivation centers were projected to be open by now. Dispensary owners say the delays could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're running out of time to make the necessary sales to get a solid return on their investments. Join me tomorrow on WGEM News Today, and you'll hear directly from a dispensary owner about that part of the story. Jeremy Culver, WGEM News.
Now on to our continuing coverage of the Illinois medical marijuana program. Investors across the state have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into the medical marijuana business, but time is running out to earn back that money. WGEM's Jeremy Culver joins us now to explain. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Dylan. Well, the longer it takes the state to roll out the medical marijuana program, the less money people licensed to sell and grow the product will make. CEO of Herbal Remedies LLC, Bob Lansing, says the state originally projected roughly 130,000 residents to sign up for the program, but almost a year and a half into the program, only a little over 1,600 residents have been approved, and another 10,000 are still in the process. Lansing says another big concern is Governor Rauner saying he won't renew the program once the pilot status ends.
That's a huge black cloud hanging over the head of everybody that's investing millions of dollars and thousands of man hours into the project. We're still willing to go forward, hoping that he changes his mind.
Lansing feels economically the program won't survive if there isn't more support given by politicians.
And the thing is, and I know he's not alone in this thinking, but Lansing has mentioned, you told me that he thinks it could be great for the economy.
He really does. This area is going to cover a 50-mile radius, so those people aren't going to be traveling 50 miles just to grab their medical marijuana. They'll be buying gas here, shopping, getting groceries, even eating at our restaurants. So once that gets rolling, this could bring a lot of economic impact here to the area.
Yeah, and then we're talking about the local economy, which is, you want to boost that, obviously a good thing all around. So.
Yes, exactly.
And we want to remind everybody, you ran a feature on, more of an all-encompassing feature on medical marijuana last night. You can find that story right now at WGEM.com, and great work throughout the week, Jeremy.
Thank you.